Hey, this is Tyler with Dieselgeek, and today we're going to introduce and install our all-new, all-metal side-to-side bracket for the 02A transmission. The 02A was used from the late 80s through the late 90s. It is a cable shift 5-speed and features a black cast steel counterweight and a black plastic reverse light switch that sits right on top of the selector shaft. In addition to being a really beautiful set of parts, our 02A side-to-side reduction bracket runs on stainless steel pins and precision bushings and replaces some really poorly fitting plastic parts. Okay, so first thing with the install is we're going to be removing the stock components. We're shooting this on a transmission and linkage that's out of a car because it's way easier to show you what's going on without a car in the way. In that vein, you may also find it helpful to remove this counterweight, though it is not necessary. Flex this up and remove the side-to-side cable. Spin this bolt out. Be careful, there is a spacer here that's very important, and there is a nut that is down in this front to back assembly that can come out, so just use care and don't drop things. Once the cables are free, we'll remove this nut and we'll slide the plastic pivot pin out, and then we will remove the Z bracket by sliding it rearward and upward. So important note before we move forward, all of these 02As are quite old at this point, and it is not uncommon for corrosion to build up in this tube. It's a good idea to scrub this out with a 410 shotgun brush, or you can use a 15/32 inch drill bit and you can feed it through and just turn it by hand really gently. Basically, this pivot tube needs to be clear of corrosion, or otherwise that corrosion will bind the pivot pin. Next, we'll install the high performance 1J0711-067L bushings. Just slide them in all the way. And we'll just test fit our pivot pin and pass this through here and make sure that it'll turn easily between your fingers. If it doesn't want to slide in, or if it's tight, then you need to go back in there and clean out that corrosion from the tube. Next up, we're going to be installing the slider pin. The round pin faces inward, and we'll thread on our lock nut. Because it's a lock nut, it's not going to thread on all the way by hand. You're going to have to start it and then finish it up with a wrench. It really does not need to be super tight. Next, we'll grab our slider and go out back to the engine compartment. We're going to take our Z bracket and bring it into position and navigate the slider into the slider channel of the front to back. And then we're going to pass the pin in. Make sure you line up the square. Just give it a little bit of a twist and a wiggle until the threads start protruding through, and just rotate it until it lines up and drops in. Once that square disappears into the bracket, then we can go ahead and grab another one of our lock nuts, get it started by hand, and tighten it up with a wrench. Go ahead and counter hold with one hand as you tighten this up. Doesn't have to be crazy. Next up, we're going to be installing the cable end pin and the retaining clip. Okay, so we're going to position our cable end pin in our window. Again, we're going to align the square. If you have a Mark IV based car, like an early Beetle or a 99.5 Golf or Jetta, you're going to use this rearward mark here. And if you have a Mark III based vehicle, you're going to align the pin with the forward mark here. Counter hold while we snug that nut down, just so we don't put a ton of force into that bracket. And now we can come in and reattach our front to back cable. Remember that spacer, and then our enlarged shoulder bolt. And we'll find that nut down inside the front to back and get it started. And you're going to want to just feel for the front and the back of the alignment slot here, and we found that you want to be just forward of center. The adjustment for the front to back cable really isn't critical, but if you get it way off, it's going to feel kind of funny when you take the car out of reverse. When you tighten this, it's going to click into gear, and that's no big deal. And this guy you want to get in the 15 foot-pound range. Nothing crazy. You want to go ahead and bring it back to neutral, and then we can install our counterweight. Okay, so at this point, the reduction bracket is essentially installed, and we can just go and check our gears, and we'll make sure that we've got first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and reverse. Now, if you want to go the extra mile, what you can do is put the car in second gear, and you'll need a helper for this, or in our case, a helpful bungee, just to bring the stick to the left gently. And then we go back out into the engine compartment, and we'll loosen up our cable end pin so that it can float in the window, and we'll push down on the counterweight while at the same time we go and snug this up. Now, more or less, this is going to land exactly where you had it before, but this just ensures that the wall inside the cabin on the stick is perfectly aligned with the 1-2 gate, and that's how you get the best side-to-side adjustment. That's about it, guys. Thanks.